Hey guys, I'm back, JJ Wilson, and this is part 2 of the Toonami ratings report that I'm doing here that I've just got done finishing a few weeks back. Please check out part 1. That's going to talk about the charts in and of itself and going into some detail about that. For this video, however, we'll touch on well, not every question, but we'll touch on most of the questions in the survey instrument or the questionnaire that I developed on behalf of the ratings. So we'll just go one by one for every question. Of course, I'm not going to do it all, but I'm going to have each picture of the question in the survey. It'll be in my report if you want to check it out. That'll be in the description box. So if you can, please check that out. Alright, for the first question in the survey instrument or the questionnaire, I asked exactly what time do you begin watching Toonami on Saturday nights. So that can be any time during the present hours of Toonami. Now, when I made this first question, I wrote down obviously the numbers 10 to 3. I know it changed now, and this is Central Time Zone too, because that's where I'm at right now. I know everybody has a different time zone, but you can circle each of your answers there in that small transparent circle there. So that's question number 1. For questions 2 and 3, I ask, on the current block, which show on Toonami do you watch on Saturday? Is it more than one show? Could it be 2, or it could be 3, or all, or every show on Toonami? So any answer is good for me there. And number 3, same thing here. Is there a preferred time or day that you want to watch Toonami? That basically means, like, do you want to watch it in the present time now, late at night, or would you rather come back during the daytime hours? Yeah, number 4 is self-explanatory. I'm asking how many hours do you watch Toonami? And those are your choices there. And the 5th question is just simply asking, do you watch these shows online before you see them on television? So that's a yes or no answer there. The 6th question, now I understand on Adult Swim's website they already have a stream dedicated for Toonami, but I also asked this question especially for people that did know about it. But regardless, I did ask this question that, do you want Cartoon Network to set up a stream website in dedication for Toonami? So that's a yes or no answer there. Number 7 talks about the genres, like types of content that you like to see on Toonami, whether that's comedy, romance, science fiction, drama, or action. So I have as many genres as possible on that questionnaire for you to select, and more than one selection is good for me. And number 8 is kind of similar to number 6, but that's more of a yes or no answer there about watching the shows online. And number 9 is simply asking how many shows do you watch on Toonami every night. That could be one show, or it could be as many as all 5 or 6, whichever. Number 10, this is a pretty interesting question here, and I got a lot of different responses to this. Number 10, was it a good idea to display Japanese sub in the English dub shows of Toonami? And interestingly enough, for those that are under the age of 19, a lot of them said yes, and then for everybody that's over 21, they said flat out no. So I thought that was kind of fascinating with that question. And here is another thought-provoking question. Number 11, should Toonami become a separate channel away from Cartoon Network, allowing all coverage, like all day coverage of anime-related content? Most guys disagree with that. They said that was a bad idea. I'm not going to put my 2 cents in there since I just wanted to see the opinions of everybody else, but that's basically what number 11 is asking. And number 12, I asked, why do you think the ratings for Toonami in 2017 are struggling with the ratings? So basically the main 2 answers was, lack of variety in content, and also the ratings were just suffering. Nobody was really watching these shows. So those are the main 2 points I got from there for number 12. Number 13 asks, did you know that Toonami was taking off Cartoon Network's programming back in 2008? So for those that don't know, around September 2008, that is the official day where the afternoon program on Toonami was officially over. And a lot of people didn't know that. Some of the older people around my age, like 30 and over, they knew about the cancellation already, so that was no surprise to us. But for the younger people like around the teams, they didn't know anything about that. They didn't know Toonami was off air back in '08. Okay, we're almost near the end here. About a few more questions left. Number 14. What was your reaction when Toonami was put on the same block as Adult Swim in 2012? And naturally, most fans were excited about that. That was the typical response I got there. Number 15. Should Toonami be played on weeknights along with the Saturday night schedule? So basically, that's going back to the old format, how it was when it first started back in the early 90s. And number 16 kind of piggybacks to the early question about the cancellation, the first cancellation for Toonami. And so I pretty much asked, why do you think it was taken off the air? And the most common response was they said, lack of content and also just ratings just doing very, very badly. And then what was interesting enough was some of the older responders, they said it might have a lot to do with the management and how they're managing these shows and how they're being advertised and displayed on Cartoon Network. So those are some interesting answers I got off question 16. Number 17, what recommendations do you have for Toonami to expand or maintain its program block? And the last recommendation was related to the Japanese language question and just covering that with English subs in there instead of just trying to wait until the anime show comes here to America and getting it in English. You can just get the new shows coming out of Japan directly into America without having to go through the hassle of hiring a English dub company. So that was the third recommendation. And for questions 18 and 19, that just asks what country you live in and how many years you watched Toonami. And for some folks, they may have watched as many as 20 years, probably since the beginning back in the 90s. Or you may have just watched it as early as last year. So that answered very greatly. And those are most of the questions in the survey. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to do all those questions. It was just there just to see and get an idea of what the fans thought about the program block altogether. So I'm done with the survey and the whole entire report in case you want to review it. If you got any questions about it, just let me know. And depending on the response, I guess from comments and recommendations, I will probably do a part 3 just talking about the evaluation findings in greater detail. And what we could do going forward, probably getting this report out to maybe somebody in TBS or Cartoon Network to kind of check out, maybe, if at all possible. Well, that's it from here. I kind of rambled long enough. I'll see you guys next time.